During the Elon Musk and Donald Trump beef, there were some major news stories that were just drowned out by these two egos clashing. One of those stories could change how we plan the future of our lives and humanity. But there are some major things that bother me about it. Let me explain. So there's a company called Nucleus, and it has released a really controversial new program for those who are trying to have the healthiest baby possible. What Nucleus has done is a step forward. Now, whether or not that it's going to be valued or even morally allowed by society really is yet to be seen. Nucleus is a new biotech company that focuses on whole genomic sequencing and something called computational biology. They just released a new program called Nucleus Embryo, and it takes the whole genome sequence of a woman's eggs, up to 20, and runs it through a prediction model. This program looks for certain diseases that are likely to show up in each egg's genome that was harvested for IVF. Now, IVF, or in vitro fertilization, is when a biological female has her eggs harvested and then professionally fertilized in a lab by a technician using one of these really cool fertilization tools. After the egg has been successfully fertilized, the egg is then planted back into the woman's uterus, ready to hopefully latch on and lead to a successful pregnancy. Which, I mean, I know that I'm a medical student and I love the circular life and all the biology behind it, but still to this day, as a man and I see a baby kick in a woman's stomach and it just like pokes out, I'm always like, hey, you know, this is where the Alien movie goes like completely sideways, right? Anyway, I'm probably the weirdo. IVF is not really new. Leaning back to the headline, Elon has actually been using this for years to try and selectively choose males as much as he possibly can. That, or he's just trying to connect with more people on 4chan by claiming he's, I don't know, never had sex before. Anyway, by genetic sequencing the eggs before implanting it into the mother, we can see if this mother's egg carries the genes for a debilitating disease that could give the kid a harder quality of life, like Down syndrome, Tay-Sachs, or cystic fibrosis. We can then choose to select one of those mother's eggs with a safer gene set to give a child a better chance at living a normal, fulfilling life. What I have explained so far is not really groundbreaking, and it has been used for a while to help communities who have debilitating recessive genetic disorders that can be passed on by their parents, such as Tay-Sachs disease in Jewish communities. Now, this would be fine if Nucleus was only searching for troublesome genes and then stopped there. Oh no, they're just getting started. With Nucleus, you could take your egg's whole genome sequence and upload them to the embryo program. You will then see a statistical probability of each egg on whether or not it will be a girl or boy, what their height could be, their hair color, BMI, and potential intelligence. Which apparently my parents looked at like all the good trait sliders and then put them all on low and put all the stat points into my nose. I look like the rat from Flushed Away. This ability to look at your eggs and then pick and choose which ones you prefer to fertilize based on potential traits of hair color, eye color, and intelligence is the big point of controversy here. I also think that this technology is fascinating, and I think you should be able to make the decision yourself on whether or not you want to have kids the natural way. It's up to you. Now, I think the idea is great, but I have to admit the Nucleus Embryo program is doing what some call the stepping stones to designer babies. I mean, because they aren't technically editing the genes, but they're just selectively choosing which eggs to fertilize and what not to. Now, a lot of the more well-read folks in my community might call this by its definition, eugenics. But hey, who am I to say where we as a society decide to draw that fun little moral line? I mean, do we want designer babies or just slightly optimized ones that are healthy? That's for the philosophers and the Redditors to figure out. Now, it's important to point out that Nucleus says it can predict your future baby traits with its algorithm and statistical point scale. But the science and accuracy behind their point system is still in murky waters, and the literature and science is far from settled. So as this tech rolls out, we'll just have to wait and see if it's actually a crystal ball or just expensive guesswork. Medicine is supposed to be a negotiation, kind of. Someone comes in with an issue and you work as a physician or any type of health provider to meet their needs, figure out what works for them and matches their beliefs. I think this kind of approach pushes boundaries and gives parents the tools that they need to make the best decisions for their families. But I believe that giving your kids' genes, your genes, and your partner's genes to a silicon genetic company that's not regulated is just one of the worst things that you can do. Because no matter how much they do PR or say that they will never sell your genome to a third party or give your information to a corrupt government, do not believe them. Without laws and regulations, there is not a single thing protecting you from that company selling your genome to be used by someone else. And yes, right now the times are new and the people running the company might respect your data now, but what happens when the founders are bought out or the company goes bankrupt? Do you trust BlackRock to care about the privacy of your entire family's genes? No. They're going to sell it to the insurance companies that they own themselves. A company, in theory, like Nucleus, is really cool, but their most expensive assets, the one that's most valuable, are not the algorithms or the programs that they build. It's your genomes that these people want to buy. And we're watching this with 23andMe because a company can have the best of intentions now. But as we've seen before in the terms of 23andMe, they are now selling their patients' genetic data as they enter bankruptcy court. Now, until companies such as Nucleus and 23andMe and all these other Silicon Valley genetic startups or anything that might be collecting your genome data are regulated to the point that they have to abide by like HIPAA laws and aren't allowed to violate your privacy and sell your genomic data on a whim, you are the product. And I personally don't believe you should give them your data. But if you're okay with it and have been trying for a kid and want to plan a family with the most data at hand today, this is an option and it's a brilliant step forward. That aside, I'm super excited to see where this idea comes to play and how this better shape families and grow humanity for the better. I mean, who knows? We might be able to stomp out some really bad disorders. Before I go, I want to say, as we enter this era of AI, I think it is important for us to know science only gives us the keys to open a door. And it is us, society and humans, who morally decide if we open the door or not. And if we do we open it all the way to see what is behind that door? Till next time. Love you all. Bye. Oh, wait, actually, did you guys actually subscribe?